Today on Inquirer, severe tropical storm Betty exits Philippine area of responsibility. Former President Rodrigo Duterte rejects calls to be drug czar under Marcos administration. Controversial Maharlika Fund bill now up for President Bongbong Marcos' signature. And Tape Incorporated says Tito, Vic and Joey's departure from Eat Bulaga is unfortunate but insists life must go on. Good evening. Former President Rodrigo Duterte rejects the idea of becoming an anti-drug czar under the Marcos administration. In a television interview, Duterte says he believes it is not right for him to assume the role of anti-drug czar under the current administration. He adds that President Bongbong Marcos, as the chief executive, should be the one to lead the government's campaign against illegal drugs. Duterte says his successor Marcos should be given leeway to address the drug problem in a year. Senators Bongo and Bato de la Rosa previously floated the idea of the former president as the anti-drug czar. Duterte is currently the subject of an investigation by the International Criminal Court into alleged crimes against humanity under his administration's war on drugs. The controversial Maharlika Investment Fund bill now only needs President Bongbong Marcos' signature to become a law, as the House of Representatives adopted the Senate's version of the proposal. To tell us more, here's Jean Mangaluz reporting live. Jean?
Neil, the controversial Maharlika Investment Fund now only awaits the signature of President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. before it can become a law. Before the House of Representatives adjourned its first regular session, legislators adopted the Senate version of the MIF after a pre-bicameral conference on Wednesday. One of the major changes in the Senate version of the MIF is the removal of pension from the Sovereign Wealth Fund. Prior to the lower chamber adopting the Senate version, Marcos Jr. said that the pension fund bodies may invest in the MIF should they choose to. However, Senator Gatchalian clarified in an interview that this was categorically prohibited in the final version of the bill. As one of the 19 senators who voted yes to the measure, Gatchalian said that the pension funds like SSS and the GSIS are prohibited from investing in the MIF, whether in the present or in the future. He also said that the president would not be able to selectively veto this provision or any specific part of the bill. The president could only do veto lines in revenue measures and appropriations measures in the General Appropriations Act. Gatchalian said that the president will need to return the bill to Congress if he doesn't agree with certain provisions. Lawmakers would have to start from scratch once more. That's it from me, Neil. Back to you.
That's Jean Mangaluz reporting live. Severe tropical storm Betty is now out of the Philippine area of responsibility, according to the Philippine Atmospheric, Geophysical and Astronomical Services Administration. In its 5 p.m. bulletin, Pagasa says Betty exited PAR around 4 p.m. when it was spotted 685 kilometers northeast of Itbayat, Batanes. Tropical cyclone has maximum sustained winds of 95 kilometers per hour and gustiness of up to 115 kilometers per hour. Pagasa says Betty will continue to gradually accelerate northeastward until Friday morning before turning east to northeastward over the waters near the Ryukyu Islands in Japan. According to the State Weather Bureau, the southwest monsoon or habagat will become the dominant rain-causing system in the country within the day. Under these conditions, Pagasa says flooding and rain-induced landslides are possible, especially in areas that are highly or very highly susceptible to these hazards. The tropical cyclone Betty has impacted 30,000 people, according to the National Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Council. In a situational report on Thursday, the NDRRMC says 30,506 people have been affected by Betty. Over 1,000 were displaced and are being served in evacuation centers, while almost 300 sought shelter elsewhere. One injury has been recorded so far. A person sustained multiple physical injuries when he was struck by a fallen tree in Kabayan, Benguet. Meanwhile, assistance amounting to 3.5 million pesos has been provided by the Department of Social Welfare and Development, local government units, and the Office of Civil Defense. Suspended Negros Oriental Representative Arnie Teves's legal team may challenge in court the recent 60-day suspension imposed against the lawmaker. In a radio interview, Teves's legal counsel Ferdinand Topacio says they are not foreclosing their judicial recourses with respect to the congressman's recent suspension. According to Topacio, while the House Committee on Ethics and the House members have the power to impose penalties, the lawyer maintains that Teves's right to due process and equal protection were violated. The House of Representatives has suspended Teves for an additional 60 days for his failure to appear before the House Committee on Ethics and Privileges once again. The embattled lawmaker was also stripped of all his committee memberships. This is the second time that Teves has been suspended after the lawmaker continuously failed to heed the panel's order to return to the Philippines and appear before the House. Teves is currently implicated in the March 4 Pamplona massacre, which he has since denied involvement in. Fewer Filipinos see their quality of life will improve in the next 12 months, according to a social weather station survey. The SWS found that 45% believe their quality of life will improve in the next 12 months. 42% believe that life will remain the same, while 6% believe it will get worse. The survey shows that Filipinos' net personal optimism reduced to positive 38 in March 2023 from positive 44 in December 2022. According to SWS, the 6-point decrease in net personal optimism is due to a decrease in all areas across the country. Data shows that net personal optimism fell across all categories of those who experienced some level of hunger. Net personal satisfaction also fell among those from poor and borderline poor families. However, a rating of positive 38 for March 2023 is still counted by the SWS as very high. Tape Inc. says it is saddened by Eat Bulaga mainstays Tito Soto, Vic Soto, and Joey De Leon's departure from the production company, but it's stressed that life must go on. Tape's Chief Finance Officer, Dapitan Mayor Bullet Haloshos, released an official statement through his Instagram stories on Thursday. Tape says it respects the decision of the hosts to leave Eat Bulaga and GMA7 Network, adding that TVJ's departure is, quote, unfortunate, but life must go on. It also thanked its talents and crew who worked for the noontime show. The production company then assured fans of its commitment to, quote, provide quality entertainment and thank GMA Network for its full support in making Eat Bulaga bigger. Tape also teased about the noontime show's new hosts. TVJ announced that they are leaving Tape on Wednesday, weeks after reports of the noontime show's debacle with the production company. Para sa mga karagdagang balita kaugnay ng pag-alis ng Eat Bulaga hosts sa Tape Incorporated, makakasama natin si Ervin Santiago ng Bandera. Ervin?
Hi Neil at sa lahat ng mga kabandera natin all over the universe. Ito na nga ang latest Bandera Chika. Marami ang nagtatanong kung Eat Bulaga pa rin ang magiging titulo ng programa ni Tito Soto, Vic Soto at Joey De Leon sakaling lumipat na nga sila ng ibang TV network. Hindi kasi naging detalyado ang ginawang pamamaalam ng mga host ng longest-running noontime show sa bansa kahapon sa pangunguna ng TVJ. Hindi na kasi nabigyan ng pagkakataon na mag-goodbye ng maayos ang mga dabarkad sa kanilang programa dahil pinagbawalan na sila ng bagong management ng Tape Incorporated na umere ng live. Napanood ang farewell announcement ng Eat Bulaga sa official Facebook account at YouTube channel nito kung saan naging madamdamin ang mga kaganapan sa loob ng studio lalo na nang magyakapan na ang mga host ng show sa katapusan ng video. Ito ang dahilan kung bakit replay ang napanood na episode kahapon, May 31, kung saan sa huling bahagi nito ay biglang nahinto at pumasok nga ang pagla-live ni Tito Sen, Bossing Vic at Boss Joey. Kasunod nito, nagsunod-sunod na ang mga reaksyon ng mga loyal viewers ng Kapuso Noontime Show, kabilang na nga ang mga celebrities na naging bahagi ng programa sa loob ng 44 years. Ayon sa nakalap nating impormasyon, hindi naman tuluyang magbababu ang Eat Bulaga sa ere dahil mukhang done deal na raw ang paglipat ng iconic show sa TV5. Sabi nga ni Boss Joey sa kanyang Instagram post, "We're not signing off, we are just taking a day off." At mukhang true nga ito dahil balitang 2 weeks lang daw magpapahinga ang TVJ at iba pang Dabarkads at babalik na uli sila sa show. Wala pang official statement ang TV5 about this pero ang chika baka raw hindi na Eat Bulaga ang maging title nito kundi Dabarkads na. Samantala mismo ang GMA7 na ang nagsabi na hanggang 2024 pa ang kontrata ng tape at Eat Bulaga sa kanila. Pero wala pang kasiguruhan kung ano ang ipalalabas nila sa timeslot ng nasabing noontime program. Gaano rin kaya katotoo na inalok daw ng bagong management ng Tape Incorporated sina Wally Bayola, Paulo Ballesteros at Jose Manalo na manatili sa Eat Bulaga para maging pangunahing host ng noontime show. Pero tumanggi daw umano ang tatlong Dabarkads. Kaya naman abang-abang pa rin tayo sa next announcement ng tape, ng GMA7 at ng TVJ. At yan ang bandera chika natin today. Thanks, Neil.
Maraming salamat, Irvin. And these are the stories you need to know today. I'm Neil Mercado. Follow INQUIRER.net on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and Reddit. For more stories, visit INQUIRER.net. Good evening.